gonna stick that shoe in there, except I'm not gonna have one shoe.
Or you can
He ate something last night and he didn't.
they're all coming, we're giving letters together, and she's getting treatment. So we'll have her all retrained.
Good afternoon, everybody. For those that do not know me, my name is Alan, Reema's husband. I want to start off by welcoming everybody here and thank you all for coming today as we honor and remember Reema. It means a lot to me and to the rest of Reema's family that you're here today. It looks like just a great turnout here this afternoon. I know that people came from far and wide to be here today. And I think this is fantastic. I've always been very impressed, and Reema's always been very appreciative of the just phenomenal group of friends and supporters that she had as she went through all of her challenges. And Reema certainly could not have done what she did, and could not have overcome all that she overcame without all of your love and support. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here today. We've got a number of people lined up to talk today. And there will also be an opportunity for anybody here who would like to say a few words or more than a few words or tell a Reema story. Anybody who's so inclined, there'll be an opportunity to grab the mic and do so a little bit later. And I'm very pleased also that our daughter, Eva, will be playing a few pieces on the piano this afternoon as well. But first, I'd like to just take this moment to say a few words about Reema. I think probably fair to say pretty much everybody in this room knew Reema to one degree or another. And certainly on the surface, I think what you all saw was extraordinary beauty, $1 million smile, and topped off quite nicely, I'd say, with a great sense of style. And once you got to know Reema, if you're lucky enough to get to know her, I'm guessing you really understood and appreciated her keen wit and her razor-sharp intellect, or razor-sharp wit or keen intellect. I don't know which way it is, but either way, I think that was Reema. But of course, I mean, there was so much more to Reema. Just a great love for family and friends, a strong spirit, and just extraordinary courage, just to name a few things. And I want to touch briefly on a couple of these things before I turn the mic over this afternoon. Things that I was a witness to every day during my life with Reema. Reema's, again, amazing spirit and courage, and Reema's profound love for our daughter, Eva. So first, regarding Eva, I want to talk about our little Eva first. She came into our lives 8 years ago as one screaming little bundle of joy. And I mean screaming, nonstop for months, her first several months in this world. But we loved her anyway, of course, and continue to do so, because she truly is just the most precious gift. And from very early on, Reema had a name for Eva. since she was just a little baby. Reema affectionately called Eva Boo Boo. I've heard Reema say that 1,000 times, and I'll never forget the sound of Reema's voice calling out to her Boo Boo. Eva was the delight of Reema's life. There was no question about that. Reema was so proud of Eva, and rightfully so. Proud of what a beautiful and talented and smart and funny and sweet girl she is. As Reema dealt with her many health challenges, we often joked that Eva was Reema's best medicine. But really, it wasn't a joke. Because I know that Reema's love for Eva and Eva's love for her mama did more for Reema than any medical care that she ever received. And I know that Reema's love for Eva and Eva's love for her mama continues on. The other aspect of Reema that I want to touch upon briefly here is Reema's spirit and incredible spirit and courage. I'm guessing most all of you here are aware of the many health challenges that Reema faced for many years. In recent years. We were married for 10 years. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary this past February. And the last 4 of those 10 years were marked by challenge after challenge after challenge thrust upon Reema. It was a roller coaster ride, a wild one, but not a fun one. It was filled with far too many terrifying dips and heart-wrenching plunges. But during those 4 years, through all those incredible hardships, I was witness to something special, very special. Reema's spirit and courage and determination were nothing short of awe-inspiring. She fought hard, and she won many unwinnable battles. I could give you countless examples of this, but I'm really not of a mind here this afternoon to go through all of what transpired. That's not what this day is about. But to suffice it to say, I'm sure a lot of people would have thrown in the towel after enduring just a fraction of what Reema did. And that very few people in this world will ever have as many seemingly insurmountable challenges and hurdles thrown their way. And even fewer people could have endured and persevered and overcome as much as Reema did. She was very, very special in so many ways, as I'm sure we'll hear about during the course of this afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all for being here to share some thoughts and experiences with Reema. Thanks also for your kind words of sympathy and support. Losing a child is not supposed to happen, but these unanticipated events do happen sometimes. We all try to make sense of the world in which we live, and one of the ways of doing so is by learning and trying to gain some understanding. When we heard the news from Reema's doctors at Stanford, there was no option left to save her. My first reaction was utter disbelief. After a few days, when I regained my senses, the scientist in me began asking questions like, what happened? Why did it happen? What could we have done to achieve a different outcome? I recall her doctors stating that this PTL, post-transplant lymphoma, is most curable. They used words like, this PTL just, in quote, melts away. So in this case, trying to understand what happened clearly is not helping. Another way we make sense of the world is through experience. When I would ask Reema, how are you? She would say, okay, or better. And when she would say that, the impact of that was like recharging my batteries. I know how debilitating a minor illness can be. However, with Reema, there is no question she was going through very difficult times. The most astounding fact is that she took these horrible illnesses without any complaint. In fact, to be truthful, I never knew how bad she was feeling inside. She found comfort and solace in reading about and listening to spiritual people as well as philosophers who had very uplifting views of the problems in life. Despite all these unpleasant times, we were fortunate to spend some gratifying moments as well. She was optimistic about the future, and her love of travel gave her ideas about places to see and discover. One place she loved most was the islands of Hawaii. I gather she had great time there with Eva and Alan and talked about vacationing there. She was not about to let her illness stand in the way of living life as fully as she could. Reema was also idealistic and had great hopes and dreams for the future, but at the same time she was pragmatic. This pragmatism and awareness of her own mortality helped her to live her life in the moment. She was always putting Eva's interests and well-being above hers, even when she needed to focus on her own health issues. She took time shopping for Eva, buying books, clothes. She explored things to do for Eva, taking her for riding lessons, other places of interest. Reema's absence will leave a permanent void in our life, but her bold, unyielding, and optimistic outlook will always remain as an inspiring force for me. Thank you.